Hello friends, in this video we'll see why and how to change the scale factor in response spectrum load case. So IS 1893-2002 says that static base shear must be equal to the dynamic base shear. So static base shear, we know what it is and we also know how to calculate it manually. So if you don't know, there is a separate section at the end of this course. You can find a video to calculate the static base shear using the manual method, or you can get the values from the software as well. Okay, so we'll compare the static base shear and the dynamic base shear in this video. Before doing that, we have to run this model. Okay, so click on this option over here and click on run now. All right, so after that, go to display and click on show tables, and over here on the structure output option, maximize it and check this base reaction option. We have to change the load cases, so select it, and here we'll select EQX1 and EQY1. So if you don't have EQX1 and EQY1 and you simply have got EQX and EQY, select them. All right, and over here select RSX and RSY. So we have to select the 4 load cases and click on OK. So after that, click on OK. So you can see we got a table over here. So now click on File and click on Export Current Table to Excel. Now you can see that we got values in the Excel sheet. So over here, EQX1 and EQY1 I saw as 0. So I need to change something. So I'll just cancel it. Click on Done. So unlock this model. So go to Define and click on Load Patterns. So over here, so EQX load and EQY load. So we'll apply the loads using the codes. Okay. So just click IS 1893-2002 and click on Modify Load Pattern. Modify lateral load pattern, global X direction. So we know what these things are, right? So we just click on OK. And again EQY. So select IS 1893-2002 and click on Modify lateral load and click on here. So global Y direction and rest of the things are same, right? And after that, click on OK. Again, run the model. So now go to display, click on show tables and select load cases. So we have got our load cases. Click on OK and click on OK. Now we got the values for EQX1 and EQY1. So there was some problem with the previous method, right? Okay, so now let us go to File, Export Current Table to Excel. So we got the values in Excel. So here global Fx direction, so this represents the base shear in the X direction in kilonewton, right? And this global Fy, so this represents the base shear in Y direction. So these two values must be same. Okay, so this is the dynamic base shear in the X direction and this is the dynamic base shear in the Y direction. Okay, so let us delete this one and let us delete this one and this one and this one. So we don't need these things. Okay, also delete these things. All right, so now here you can see that so this value should have been equal to this value because this is the static base shear and this is the dynamic base shear, but it is not, right? Similarly, this value should be equal to this value, but it is not. Okay, the variation of up to 20% is allowed, and if the variation is more than 20%, then you have to check your design. All right, now we can see that this dynamic base shear is lesser than the static base shear. So we have to multiply this value with certain factor so as to equate it with the dynamic base shear. So we'll find that factor. So for that, what we'll do, we'll just divide the static base shear by the dynamic base shear. Okay, so that is 1.263866. If we scale this value by this factor, we'll get this value, right? Again, for this one, so let's divide it by this value and hit enter. So now we'll copy this one. Okay, so let's just turn it and click on unlock, and now go to define and click on load cases So click on RSX and modify so lowercase. So over here we'll paste that scale value. Okay, so we'll just ignore this minus sign and reduce it. Okay, now click on modify. So it means that now the value of RSX will be factored by this factor, okay, so as to equate the base year with the static base year. And we click on OK, and again next value, let's copy it, copy this, and for this one click on modify so lowercase, and let's just paste it, the minus sign ignored, right? And click on modify and click on OK, and again click on OK.